Bluetooth Roadcaster.
Alec, I don't even have any meat on me. There's not even good smells. I just smell like Marb Reds and Zint. I'm ready when you are. Hey, everybody, my name's Chris Warren.
My name is Matt Lopes.
Welcome to the You Should Be Worried podcast.
A pig physically cannot look into the sky. I haven't seen a cloud in years. Chris, how you doing today? Good? How you doing, Chris? Good? Chris, how you doing today? Good?
God, fuck you, dude.
I went to the fucking doctors today. And, can I just say, I think they're tipping the scales on me. I think those motherfuckers are dipping the fucking scales.
Are we up or down?
No, we're down.
Okay, so that's...
But like at home, I'm a different number than I am there. I feel like I'm always 2 pounds heavier at the fucking doctor's office. Always. And if my scales and every other scale that's outside of the doctor's office is reading a certain number, then I go there and it's like always 2 pounds heavier. What are they doing?
I think the issue is at the doctor they have an industrial scale, and at your house you have a zoo scale. So it's kind of like different. Different metrics.
I got the ones that weigh the elephants at the zoo.
So they're not calibrated exactly the same because the other one, weighs like semi-trucks. So they're a little bit different.
But no, yeah, I'm down 35 pounds total.
Oh, let's get a clap for that.
Which is 10% of my body weight, which is also why you can't see a difference. It's because 35 pounds is not even 10% of my body weight.
That's a lot of weight though. Seriously, that's good.
Yes, but you can't. You notice how you never noticed?
I noticed.
No, you haven't. I'm the same size. It's like when you let 10% of helium out of a balloon, the balloon still looks fucking full,
I like how as you're talking about this, you're eating.
Yeah.
That is the only time you've ate on the podcast is when you're announcing your weight loss. It's a wild maneuver.
Every time I go to the doctors and I lose weight, I'm like, all right, time to fucking celebrate. That's my second bagel this morning. I went to
That's like 1,000 calories.
Yeah, sure. So what? I don't have to lose 5 or 10 pounds until the next time I go to the doctors, And I schedule my appointments are 10. No, it's once a month. It's always a month ahead. So I spend the first 2 weeks of the month eating however I want, and the second 2 weeks slimming back down to my initial weight that I went last time, and then like 5 more pounds.
Couldn't you just keep it consistent and lose more weight?
Life is never consistent. I went to the Hornet's Nest. Which is it's a deli.
Matt, you can't talk with your mouth open.
Yes, I can.
Disgusting.
Yes, I can.
I'm gonna throw up.
It's you're gonna throw up.
Yeah.
I can't, so I'm not going to be able to finish this fucking bagel until after the podcast? Fuck that. I'm eating. I'm fucking eating. Just don't look at me. I went to the Hornet's Nest in Brantford, and they don't have any fucking prosciutto. Like, how am I supposed to have a prosciutto cream cheese bagel when you don't have any fucking prosciutto,
It's not a deli, though.
Yeah, you think like things should just exist in places because they exist in other places. Like when we go to the city.
If it's a deli, it should have boar's head. I'm spitting everywhere.
But it's not. It's like a bagel coffee place. It's not a deli.
It's like a high school fucking bacon, egg, and cheese spot.
So they're not going to have boar's head.
They're not going to have prosciutto, dude. They might have boar's head fucking.
Yeah, but isn't Brantford also kind of like bougie though, or like what?
Yeah, but who cares?
I like
about
how
high school
you're
students
saying
anywhere?
boar's head. Like boar's head is a bougie. That's like the
That's all
poison
I
they
know.
feed us to die.
And there's probably a lot
That's
of
all I know.
prosciutto you've had that wasn't boar's head.
Yeah, imported prosciutto from like Italy and shit.
It's like, what are you fucking on about, dude? It's like when we go to the city and you're like, dude, is there a bodega with chopped cheese around? Like, yeah, obviously, but like, fucking not that one.
Right. All right. I'll take
Matt,
a break. I'll take a break.
Did you ask them to make the bagel the Aki way?
No. I said, everything bagel, toasted dark, extra cream cheese.
Yo, the way you just bring your Buffalo Wild Wings and Dunkin' Donuts ass order to other places.
Oh, yeah,
so
dude.
Funny. Like, we're at Archie Moore's, which is an independently owned restaurant. And Matt's like, can I get 10 wings, all drums, medium? This woman is like, what
We
the
only
fuck
do
are
quantities
you saying?
of 14 and 7. I'm like, I want 10 medium.
Was that with
Buffalo
the waitress
wings.
that was way too friendly?
Yes.
That made me so
Yo,
uncomfortable.
she
hated
was.
her.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah, that was the
nuts,
worst.
Well,
dude.
it started nice. We had this older waitress.
Dude, that's the one that wants to fuck Matt, and he doesn't think she does. Now that solidifies it.
I think she wants to fuck Matt.
Yo, come
I got
on.
that vibe,
That's
right?
like the third time that's happened.
Yes, but she kept checking on us every 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Literally 2 minutes.
To see your face.
No, but I stopped making eye contact.
Is
with her.
everything okay?
Like, I kept looking at Jared like, you see how quick
that-
she's back?
Do you guys...
Every time she was at the table asking if we needed anything, I would just stare at Jared.
That was probably the problem.
Do you guys need more water? Is everything that you want dessert?
Yeah.
How are the
meanwhile,
wings?
Chris had dessert as his meal, and she still.
Which was a
asked.
mistake. I threw up when I got home. That was horrible.
Yeah, you're insane. You always have these stories about puking, and then you're like, we're hanging out, and it's like fucking 10 o'clock in the morning. You're like, yo, can we get ice cream?
Yeah,
It's like, what is
Such
your
a weird fucking.
you
No, but
fucking
I
all
agree,
right?
dude. Like I've had Jersey Mike's 2 times this past week, and I still was under 5 pounds. How do you think I did it, dude? By either not eating or fucking puking. So that's just a rule of thumb for everybody. You can have whatever the fuck you want if you just afterwards down 5 cigarettes at a time and make yourself throw up.
Matt-
And it's also really cool because on the way out, you get to taste the Jersey Mike's a second time.
Matt just discovered bulimia. When next time we come on the podcast, Matt's like 120 pounds.
Of course, I'm kidding. I don't think you should. You probably shouldn't make yourself throw up.
No, I mean, if you're like fat and gross, you should.
All right, cool. Then I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
No,
Like if you look in the mirror and you go, gross, like you can do something about it.
You can.
No.
Obviously, you look gross because there's food in your stomach.
Yeah.
No one's ever had no food in their stomach and still been like, I'm gross.
Yeah, you feel light and good.
Dumbass.
Like when that guy's always yelling about who's gonna carry the boats, run 30 miles every morning. It's like he's like puke.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, this morning was the first time I've been touched by a woman in a very long time. It's every time I go to the doctor's office, there's always a woman who like touches me. And I gotta act like a normal person who gets touched a lot. So I'm like, on the inside, I'm like, those hands feel not good on my arm. She's taking like my blood pressure and she's wrapping the thing around my arm. And I'm like, this is the most I've been touched in a very long time. So
That was good.
no, but on the outside, I was like, she's like, I'm sorry, my hands might be cold. I'm like, I don't even feel it. You have hands?
Was she just touching your arm? Like it
She
wasn't.
was just wrapping it around the thing around my arm, and she put that little thing monitor on my finger.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's close enough.
Hold up, I'm gonna come. Yeah, give me a second. I gotta cool down here.
How have you been this week? Good.
I've been good this week, dude. I've been doing this week now in unemployment. Because my original plan was I'm going to be very productive.
Yeah.
So every day I make an Instagram reel and I apply for jobs for like 2 hours.
Nice.
But that collectively only takes up like 4 hours of my 12 hours I need to do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So then what I do the rest of the day is I take Zins and I drink Ghost energy drink and I just play this game called Hell Let Loose.
Okay.
And it's I like to describe it as an autism simulator.
Okay.
A World War II themed autism simulator.
Yeah.
And I love it, of course. And so what it is it's like a first-person shooter from World War II, but it's super realistic in the sense as like as much a video game can be. Like you don't have a HUD, like there's no health bar, like bullet count or like mini map or anything.
Right.
And you all have like bolt action rifles and it's like one shot, one kill.
Yeah.
And it's like these big battles of 50 on 50, and I get in these servers where everyone role plays.
Okay.
Like I had to ask permission. I had to like DM the guy and be like, "Please let me into your role playing server. I promise I know how many bolts are in that tank." And dude, it's so cool. I play as Germans every time because gotta.
What do you play as Germans?
I play as the Germans every time.
Is that your role play character?
No, so there's like
What's
the
your
Americans
character?
and the Germans are like the two sides, and I always go Germans.
Are you a bard? What are you? Like, if it's role playing, does that mean that that's what they mean by it? It's German American, or do they mean by role playing like they have
like
characters?
No, like you got to pretend you're there. So like it's proximity chat.
Oh no!
It's proximity chat, so you can only talk to people that are close to you.
Yeah.
So like artillery will come in, everyone's just like, artillery, everyone get down! And someone will get hit and they'll just start screaming, medic! Medic!
You're screaming in your apartment all by yourself as if you're fucking in war.
Dude, I go full autism. I go full prone, and I got like I'm crawling up to the line and I'm calling out spotter checks, and I'm like, they're coming from the northwest, smoke in the northwest. I need a gun up there now.
Holy shit. That's got to be fun as fuck, but your neighbor's got to be like...
It's the best part
going
is
on?
like I don't even most of the game because it is like on role playing servers. You're mostly not shooting your weapons. Most of what I'm doing is picking up ammo and running it to the front to give it to the machine gunner.
It's very realistic.
Yeah.
Very realistic. That's great. So that's good to know that's how you're spending your unemployment time.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. And then every once in a while, like a tank will come. Like
Yeah.
the Americans will bring in a tank, and there's really nothing you can do as a normal rifleman against a tank. So everyone just starts screaming tank, and you all run for your lives. And you're just watching your boys get mowed down.
Fuck.
The other day, I joined because no one was online. I joined a server that was European.
Yeah.
Because it was like the hours lined up. And I was playing on an all German server, and that was real role play. We were as Germans. I was just very quiet because I didn't want them to. They were gonna definitely would have kicked me.
Yeah, if they knew you only spoke English.
Because it was like it's all about coordinating, and I'm just like
You're just saying the German word for yes, sir.
yeah,
over
I'm just
and over
like da
again. Yeah.
das mein Kamerad.
You're Googling phrases that you can say, like what ammo is in German. And you're just yelling ba 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 or whatever the fuck it is.
Los detecken die Panzer. The Ostfront.
All right.
Yeah. All my German is based on the Nazis, so it worked in perfectly for that.
Right.
Because all the German is from me watching Das Boot. So it was all very applicable to the situation.
What's this game called? Hell Let Loose?
Hell Let Loose is so good, dude. It's so good. And I tried to get my friends that play other video games with me to play it, and they're like, dude, I just run for an hour and then I get shot in the head. I don't know where it came from. Like, that's the best part. It's realistic. That's probably how most of our grandfathers died.
So fucking crazy.
Yeah.
When people are getting ran over, do you hear them on the like yelling as
Yeah,
if
they role play. They're like,
they're fucking really into it. That's crazy.
yeah, I remember I had to sit in a shelled out trench with this guy. We were behind enemy lines and our whole unit got taken out, and like the whole enemy unit was moving around us, and we just laid in the water in the trench.
Is it first person?
For like, and it would have made more sense to just get out and get shot
Yeah.
and go back to the spawn point. We're playing realistic, so we're like, like we wouldn't want to die in real life, so we just hide here and not fight and be quiet.
Yeah.
So I just sat there for like a half hour of the game, just be like, they're getting close. We gotta be quiet. Shut the fuck up. It was I love that game so much.
Is it a new game?
No, it's like probably 2 or 3 years old, but I just discovered it.
Yeah.
Because a friend of mine who I talk history with sometimes was like, hey, I think this would really fit your brand of autism. You should play this. And I was like, hell yeah, dude.
I love that. Can you imagine if you actually were autistic?
Yeah, imagine.
You're really high functioning for an autistic
I think so.
person.
I've never been diagnosed, but it wouldn't surprise me.
But like, how do you expect to be diagnosed? You're just gonna go to your doctor and be like, "Can you tell me if I have autism or not?"
No, see, Matt, we've been over this. I don't believe in mental illness, so I will never accept
You're
a
gonna say you don't
diagnosis.
believe in doctors. I was like, where was I this morning?
I mean, kind of. More like the lab coat mafia, dude, trying to push their pharmaceuticals on you, taking a $80,000 a year paycheck from Pfizer to get you addicted to opioids and give you fucking SSRIs.
Now that you're now that you're unemployed, do you have any tips as to how one can stay unemployed if they want to keep reaping the benefits of the government without actually going to work?
It's like really easy. You just have to apply to a certain amount of jobs every day with evidence you applied to those jobs. And then
when they call to offer you an interview, say sorry, you can't make it or some shit?
Well, no, just apply for jobs you're not qualified for.
Oh, okay.
Like that would be.
So you're showing your unemployment like officer or whatever the fuck they're called. You're like, so I applied to NASA today.
I do this all the time just for fun, like because I am applying to jobs I actually am qualified for and want.
Yeah.
But also I'll just while out and type in like CEO or VP of sales into Indeed, and I'll just send an application.
And either you get a job that's really fucking high paying, or you stay unemployed.
Exactly. So it's like, well, I'm trying to. I applied to be the head of marketing at fucking, Microsoft. All right. I did my best. They didn't want me. I don't know there's no jobs out there. I don't know what you want from me.
Right.
So that's been fun.
Yo, you think your unemployment officer would ever be like, yo, like maybe just don't apply for jobs that crazy, or they're not trying to tell you what?
They don't give a shit.
Really?
They don't check in on you. It's all digitized online.
What if you reapply to the same job that you already got a no from? Do they realize that? Do they keep track of that?
Well, I'm like actually applying to jobs. It's not really a concern. Like I'm not scamming the system. Like I'm trying to get employed.
Because I know if I ever went on unemployment and I was getting a pretty good weekly check.
You're not. That's not how unemployment works.
If I was.
They will max pay you like 60-70% of what your previous pay was.
Which sometimes, if you had a really good job, would not be that bad.
It's only up to a certain point. So you can threshold out of it. So if you make enough money, like so for instance, if you made like $100,000 a year, they're not going to pay you $70,000 a year to be unemployed. They're going to be like, all right, man, no. We pay 70% of your previous pay up until a certain point. And that point is very low threshold.
Yeah, but I make like $30K right now. So if I had a $100,000 and they were paying either just like 30 or 40, you think it's not even 30 or 40?
No, they wouldn't, because they're only going to pay you 60% of your $30,000 a year.
Okay, I'm talking about if I started making 100,000.
Yeah.
60-70% of that, which I wouldn't. It would threshold out of, right?
Yeah.
But if it went down to like 30 or 40, that's basically what I'm making right now, you know?
I think the maximum you can get pre-taxes in Connecticut is around $700 a week.
Yeah. Remember when you talk shit about Snoop Dogg on the podcast?
Yeah, because fuck Snoop Dogg.
That's so ironic. All right, why fuck?
Because it was a throwaway line because his music came up and then we moved on.
Yeah.
It was no, he murdered somebody. He literally murdered somebody.
What the fuck?
And then the statue.
No, he didn't. Snoop Dogg murdered a person?
1000% Snoop Dogg murdered a person.
What?
Yeah. You haven't seen that documentary where they're talking about he did a robbery and shot somebody and they're like, did you kill someone? He's like, man, statute of limitations. Yeah, he's a fucking crack-selling murderer that had a hit song and is now pretending to be like a fucking family-friendly figure, and it makes me sick.
Holy shit. Yeah.
Chris, I kind of hate that you have, like, good values. I think it's so cringe and gay.
No, but this is the gossip that Chris is talking about how much he hates.
Yeah.
You just gossiped about Snoop's fucking murdering streak.
Because I hate him.
If I grew up in, like, a shitty part of California and, like, had no promise of a future, like, I would kill people, dude. What are we doing on this earth, bro? Who even knows? Who even knows, bro?
For a second.
Matt's fucking dad died and saw nothing. Like, what's gonna happen?
It's all done.
So it's like,
dude, that's crazy. Has that made a podcast episode?
I don't know, but it should be more talked about. I think about that shit, dude.
I think about it all the time, dude.
That's because your dad didn't let God into his heart, so he goes
also,
nowhere.
Yeah, maybe.
So he goes nowhere.
Dude, isn't that that's crazy? My dad, just for anybody who hasn't heard, my dad had to go into surgery at the hospital, and they had to make an incision on like his fucking chest area, and as soon as the blade touched his chest, he flatlined. And then they had to like spend the next 5-10 minutes like bringing him back to life. They did the ka-chunk or whatever the fuck it's called, the auxiliary. And then when at the end they couldn't even do the surgery, they brought him back into his fucking room. And as he's waking up, my mom's like, "Oh my God, Paul, you died." And he starts crying. And she's like, "Why are you crying? You're alive. Like they got you back." And he's like, "I didn't fucking see anything." And then my mom, who didn't have to tell anybody, told everybody. Instead of just keeping that fucking information to herself, she texted me and my sister right away. "Hey, Dad didn't see anything. Make sure you guys pray all the time." Why would that make me want to pray? Why would that make me want to pray?
You know, Matt, you know, and I don't like that face. I hate that I'm in comedy constantly with the lowest moral denominator of civilization and human beings. But what I was no, I'm just comedy in general. You're great. The rest of them.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Believing in God and prayer and all that doesn't really matter if God's real or not.
What do you mean?
Like, if I believe in God and I pray every day and I live a kosher lifestyle to the best of my abilities, not strict kosher, but I eat kosher, do what I can. I try to pray every day. If I die and there's no God, I won't even be mad.
Well, you won't have an emotion because you would be. It's all black.
But what I'm saying is,
you're saying you don't care now if you die and God's not real.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. My faith is doesn't matter if God's real or not. Because people say that to me like, "Oh, but you spent all this time believing in God and doing all this dumb stuff. What if he's not real, or what if all that stuff isn't real? Then don't you feel like you wasted your time or you got tricked or something?" It's like, no, because having the morals and values and practices that my religion gives me, in my case, Judaism, but I think there's a lot of key elements in things like Christianity and Islam as well.
It just leads to a better quality of life.
It just leads to you being a better person, having a better quality of life. So if my whole thing was I got tricked into believing in God and he wasn't real and I die and there really is nothing, I didn't waste any of my time.
But you can not believe in God and still have good morals.
Not my experience.
So not you specifically. You need God in order to know not to kill people.
I have never... Because here's the difference.
Yeah.
You cannot believe in God, and you cannot be a bad person.
Right.
That's fine. I've met many people that are very friendly, very lovely, that aren't bad people that don't believe in God. And that's fine. Nothing against them.
Yeah.
I have never, and I want to go on record saying that I don't include myself in this group of truly good people. So I'm not saying like me versus other. I don't think I meet that criteria. I have never met, because people get it twisted that because they didn't do anything bad, they must be a good person. That is not what being a good person is. That is the bare minimum to not do horrible shit to each other and do some mild kindnesses. That is you're an average person.
Yeah.
Truly amazing, wonderful, angelic, good people. Every single one that I've met in my, and this is all anecdotal, every single one that I've met in my personal life that are truly like, man, that I wish I could be like that. That's not in me. Every single one of them, you ask them why they do it. I believe in God. That's why they do it.
And they do it because of God?
They feel that God calls them to do that thing.
So
and it's
even
their
at
faith.
the end of the day, if God's a fictional character that we just made up 2,000 years ago or whatever the fuck.
It inspired those people.
It inspires people to be the best people that they can be. You don't think there's anybody out there who believes in God that are using his power to do bad things?
100%.
So you'll get both ends of the spectrum, right?
No, but I think if you're... Okay, so there are people...
You also get the worst people in the world saying they do shit because of God.
No, because here's what I'll say. The people who say they're doing horrible shit, quote, because of God, they don't really believe that. They're using God as a cover or God as an excuse.
I don't think so. The people who like fly planes into buildings because of like Allah and shit, I don't think they're flying planes. You know, like there's just like I'm in the like.
But I do see what Chris is saying in like an American sense.
I agree, and I love that. I love that the best people around
like God wants me to smack my child. And you're like, no.
but like for instance, like, and I won't. Like when I ask people like that radically changed my life, right? And this, I won't name them because I don't think they want to be involved in this public sphere at all.
Yeah.
But I had this one friend that when I was really going through it at the end of my rope with my alcoholism, I'd pushed away most of the people in my life that had known me for a long time. I had not been particularly nice to this individual either. And when I was at the bottom of my rope, he flew me out to where he lived and let me ride out my withdrawal.
Yeah.
Like at his house, free of charge, took like a week off work to help me.
Nice.
And get my life back together. And just guided me through that process and, you know, helped me reconnect with God and all that. And I asked him, you know, year after that, you know, like, why'd you help me? Like everyone else from that era and that group of people had abandoned me. Like I wasn't even mad at them. It's like they should have. Like I don't blame them.
Yeah.
It's like, why didn't you? And he's like, because when I die and God asked me, like, why didn't you help Chris when he needed you? What am I supposed to say?
Right.
He's like, it was never an option. He's like, he was honest. He was like, do you think I wanted to help you? No, there was a huge pain in the ass.
Yeah.
It was difficult. It was annoying. It cost me money. Like, I didn't fucking want to do that. But you were a person that needed help. You asked for help. And like, what was I going to do? Tell God I'm too busy to help somebody? So they died of alcoholism because I was too busy with my life. It's like, no.
I honestly, I love that a lot. I just I feel like if he could have done that without believing in God, I feel like it might have said a little bit more.
I don't think people can. Because here's what I'll also say. Here's what I'll also say why I'm against spiritual people. This is why I'm against spirit. Because everyone's like, Chris, but you have your thing with Judaism. Why you always give a pass to like Christians, Muslims, and stuff, but then spiritual people you always clamp down on? I've gotten several DMs about that. Fair question. Because spirituality is not linked to any inherent code of ethics or rules. It's like, yeah, but I'm like a decent person, so I know the difference between right and wrong, so I'll just do the right thing. Conveniently, every spiritual person I met in my life, when the going got tough, conveniently what was good for them all of a sudden became the moral right. and what would have been bad for them all of a sudden became the moral wrong.
So it ended up being selfish.
Because when you're spiritual, you make yourself God. That's what spirituality is. I don't care if you think yes, that's what you're fucking doing, because the only difference between spirituality and religion is a belief in God, and that God, whatever the rules are, has set down a set of rules.
Yeah.
And those rules are slightly different religions, but that he has a clear set of right and wrong rules, and that he is a God, or multiple gods even. I don't even
when
care.
When
you're spiritual, the rules are just kind of whatever I feel is right. And it always ends up eventually becoming whatever makes me feel good is good, and whatever makes me feel bad is bad. And anytime I fuck someone over, well, actually, when you really think about it, like
that was good for me.
Because they don't even they gaslight themselves. They're like, well, that person was really low vibrations, or they were toxic, or they were controlling, or they were manipulative, and it's like that doesn't excuse what you did to them. It's like, yeah, but it doesn't count. Every time. And when you are the one determining good and bad, you have, whether you acknowledge or not, have made yourself God, because that's what God is, the one who determines good and bad. And when you're God, you destroy yourself and others around you. And I've never met a, quote, spiritual person that is actually not a total piece of shit.
So does that mean God's a piece of shit?
Not at all.
Seems like it would connect.
Why is God a piece of shit?
Because if you say spiritual people make themselves God, and if you're God, you destroy everything around you, or whatever the fuck you said.
No, when humans make themselves God, they destroy everything
Oh,
around
when
them.
God makes himself God, it's different.
Yeah, 100%.
I get it, but I get it. I don't like it, but I get it.
You don't have to agree. You can be wrong. It's okay to be wrong. There are lots of people. There are whole nations. No one in China is religious. They're all wrong. That's okay.
I thought they were Zionist.
Dude, if China came out as Zionists and just started backing Israel, that'd be...
Is Zion not Chinese for God?
No, Zion is a term for a place in the Bible. It's a location in the Bible. And Zionists view Israel as Zion.
What the fuck am I thinking of?
Maoist, maybe?
Oh, Zedong.
Not even, just has the same first letter.
All right, well, thank you guys so much for watching this week's episode of You Should Be Worried.
This was a real shit show, this episode, bro. I don't even know what's going to make it.
Started off with great energy, and it turned into something... My name is Matt Lopes. You can find me on Instagram at MattyFucko, on TikTok as MattyFucko, on Twitter at Matthew Jokes. And check out the You Should Be Worried Pod Instagram. We have all the clips there. On our TikTok, it's at Be Worried Pod. On YouTube, please like, comment, subscribe to the channel. We've been climbing, baby. We've been doing real good. The last couple episodes that came out have been doing really good. Not this one. And make sure you follow Ben and In the Making on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at In the Making ITM. And Chris, go right ahead.
You can follow me at Chris Warren Comedy on Instagram and TikTok. I got all my show dates there. I got history sketches, other sketches, all the good stuff. DM me.
Oh yeah.
DM me if you want to learn about God or sobriety. DM me, dude. I'll talk to you for hours.
Thank you guys so much for watching the podcast. We will see you next week. Love you.